Hey guys, welcome back to New World Carpentry Solutions. Right now I'm about to make a crucial upgrade to my router table. That again, the router table in itself is actually inspired by Ron Paulk. This actually upgrade is also inspired by a Ron Paulk addition that he did over to his router table. Essentially, he drills a hole right in line with the router bit itself, because whenever you're making a cut with your router that is like a dado or a T-track bit like this one I'm using here, all your sawdust pretty much is captured in between your actual workpiece and your bit. So if it doesn't fall beneath the table, under the table dust collection does nothing, and fence dust collection does nothing, because all your sawdust is actually captured between your piece and your bit. So having, and also because of the rotation of your bit, all the sawdust is typically thrown further forward. And I thought it was really ingenious to actually drill a hole and then attach a dust collection hose underneath of it to catch most of the sawdust that's being thrown forward. And here I'm trying to test all the different hoses I have in my shop, but luckily the new Festool ETS CTS MIDI, that hose fits perfectly inside the hole I drilled. I just grabbed a random drill bit, didn't even think about matching it to one of the hoses I already had, but I'm glad I drilled a hole and it fits one of the collection hoses that I already have. We'll call that a happy accident. But now I'm setting up to actually cut my very first T-track. Another thing I picked up from Ron Paulk, instead of buying metal T-track, if you buy a bit like this, for most hold down situations or fences like I'm going to use for this router table, wooden T-track is definitely more than strong enough, especially if you laminate pieces of plywood like this, because then you can actually set the depth that you actually want to cut, which gives you the ability to control how strong or how thick your actual, I guess, wings to your T-track is. So that way it gives you more tear out strength before actually, the wood will tear out itself. Plus with the router bit, I'm able to actually cut, like he says, miles of T-track for one bit versus having to pay for an individual T-track set every single time. And as you guys can see here, as I start making the cut, pretty much all the sawdust is thrown forward. Some of it does leave the table, but a good portion of it that's directly in line with the bit ends up going directly down into the dust collection hose. And then as soon as the router bit is completely covered by the workpiece, all the sawdust is being thrown forward and then right down to the dust collection hose. So again, it's not 100% dust collection, but it's a great addition to your router table dust collection solutions. Having this hole, again, you can switch your hoses from port to port. The one thing I might do is come up with a way to actually have 3 different holes set up over here on my router table. That way I can have a hose connected to under to the table, to the fence, and also to this port whenever I'm doing a certain type of bit. That way I know I have the best the best dust collection over on this portable router table, and it works out really well. Again, I'm used to actually slinging a bunch of sawdust whenever I mess with the router, because even with like handheld routers and everything else, it's not really a great solution to collect the sawdust. But as you guys just saw there, anything that is left on your table, you can scoop it right into your hose. And if I didn't tell you guys already, this entire top that I'm building is currently for a drill press table that I'm building. I didn't actually video the rest of the parts because I was kind of in need of it to finish this door. So I decided just to video the assembly and me using the T-track bit because that was the first time over on the channel. But the table itself is pretty simple. We're just gonna have drawers on the lower section. The idea of putting drawers on the drill press table is just so that way I can actually raise the table itself above the crank handle on the drill press. That's one of the things that a lot of people may forget whenever they build their first drill press table, is to make sure that you have clearance to actually raise and lower your table without bumping your hand on the handle. So these drawers give me that, along with some extra storage. So I just made some fairly shallow ones because I didn't want to make the table extremely tall. I do plan to still be able to build a cabinet later on underneath my drill press, so I didn't want to go overboard with this tabletop. I might add some other features and stuff to it later, but for right now, it allows it to sit right around the collar of my drill press, so I can actually attach a fence. I might do a split fence like I've seen over on YouTube. It's actually a really good idea. But attaching fences, hold downs, etc. is all able to be done to the router table. I did the drawers in 2 separate sections, so it'll still allow the clearance down the middle. That way I still can use a stick from the underside of the drill press table to pop up my actual zero clearance insert that I had. I still haven't made it yet, but I did drill I believe a 2-inch hole right there in the middle of the drill press table that lines up with the collar. So all I have to do is actually make a perfect 2-inch circle to swap in and out, but that allows me to actually be able to change it out through the underside of the drill press table. I might use like neodymium magnets or something like that just to hold it down. Haven't really debated too much on that. The real goal of building this drill press table was to allow me to actually do the mortises that I need for the door, stiles and rails. And this is just gonna give me a large flat surface that I can attach a fence to. There's a lot more upgrades and stuff I want to do to this later, being actually building an actual cabinet for the underside of the drill press, building a better fence, etc. But all those things will come in the future. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Maybe you guys learned a few things. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.